Hello everyone, it's Geesje. Welcome back. I'm glad to be back to do another video for you. It's been a while and because of the summer and I have a big yard and a big garden, so I have to take care of that as well. And so today is a little slow day, so I can actually focus on doing the next installment of this series that I was working on to make junk journals and notebooks. Also, I want to mention thank you all for subscribing and sticking with me for so long, and I appreciate that. So if you have questions or want to say something on one of the videos, please go ahead and write that in the comments. Also give the videos a thumbs up and share with anybody who you think is interested in the same thing. So let's get on it. So the last few episodes we made these two notebooks, and these are called inserts. So now I'm going to make a cover for the inserts, and I can have more than one in it. 4 is a little bit much, but we'll concentrate on 2. And if you've seen the videos, this cover is made with 2 pieces of cardstock. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I will be gluing and sewing fabric to the 2 pieces of cardstock that I have selected for this. So the cardstock will not be visible, so I'm using the purple cardstock that I have. I have lots of it, and because it's not going to show, doesn't really matter. I will glue around the edge to have the fabric adhere temporarily so that I can sew without the fabric shifting. I don't really want to add glue to the whole piece because with folding and everything, the glue might crack and you might feel that. So I'm only going to glue lightly around the end. So this is the fabric that I picked for the outside. I really like this fabric. And this is a fabric that I found in my stash. I'll turn it around, you can see it is with old advertisements on it. And I will do the same to this. So I will glue around. Okay, before I forget, I've kind of figured out that my books go here, this will fold over, and this will fold over here. So now this is a little bit too long, but I hope to add things to it. So see, when I added only 1 book, and it's already covered enough. So you want to kind of keep that in mind on how big to cut your cover. Also, my inserts are 8.5 inches high, and I cut this 9 because of the way they are inserted. And we'll get in that at due time when I reach that point, which will be right after I glue and sew this. So I will be gluing all around and sewing this, and I'll either fast forward or have you come back. And I'll let the glue dry before I sew, otherwise I will muck up my needle, my sewing needle. So, and I will be doing that with my sewing machine. And I'll have my fabric on the bottom, and so that I can see that there's like room all the way around, because I don't mind a little fringe. You know, like when it ravels a little bit, I'm okay with that. So I'll press this down, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't hold in the end, as long as it holds until I've sewn it all around. So I will do the same with this. Doesn't have to cover completely, and I'm using Aleene's Stake glue. Now I'm looking at my fabric. Yeah, I'm still going to use this as the outside. As long as it holds enough for me to sew around. So I will let this dry because I do need it to dry. See, I could switch this over. Oh, this might not hold at all. Okay, let's add a little bit more glue. I will do just the corners, but I don't want the glue to go to the front of my fabric. I don't want it to show through. Okay, I will put something on top. Well, this is not heavy enough. And I will be back. So this is how it looks like. I used black thread to sew around the edge, a little bit away from the edge, and this is how it looks. This is the outside, and I will put this aside because we're concentrating on this one, on the inside, and I've used a purple lavender color thread. You can hardly see it. I don't want the thread to be too obvious. I on purposely did not use black on this piece, although I kept the same black in the bobbin when I was sewing. The next step will be making sure that this can go in here. And I'm sorry I don't have an example for you to see, but we'll get to it. So this looks nice. So what I want to do now is you measure this to the biggest size you possibly can go to. And so I will mark here with a pencil about here. Okay. We need some elastic and a pokey tool. I have an awl, but you could use a needle or a pin. So here are my marks. Okay, so about here and here, I'm going to poke holes, but I'm going to, okay, that could work. Just on the inside of the stitching I sewed. I did not do that on purpose. It all was coincidental. So I'm going to poke a hole here and one over here. Then I'm going to measure, because I do want this to be straight. Can we see this? Yes, we can see this. I'll measure down, make sure that the ruler is lined up with my side edge and with my bottom and with my top. So that one is going to be over here, 1/2 inch away from the first hole, and that'll be about here. Now I can go fancy. Shall I do that? Okay, I'll show you some. I have like this thing. It's called a Crop-A-Dile. And we're not friends yet. But the thing is, I can punch holes and then put eyelets in them. And I'm going to see if I can manage that. I will test off screen. I will pause this video and I will test, see which ones I need. And because I don't want to test in here and have the wrong hole and the wrong eyelet for it. Alright, I'm going to try and use my Crop-A-Dile, and I actually went on YouTube to see how to properly use it. There are some fantastic videos on it. And so I did pre-punch my hole, and I want to go from the good side. I'm going to punch it again. I'm using an 1/8 of an inch grommet. So I'm going to use the 1/8 of an inch side of my Crop-A-Dile. I'm going to find my holes and I'm going to re-punch the holes, hopefully. 1, 2. And I know the fabric stretches a bit, but that's okay. It'll come away. Other side. Alright, let's just estimate. Alright, not exactly in the same spot I want it, but good enough. Now, there's a base, so that goes to the bottom. This is the right side. And I need C3. I actually wrote it down on my box so that I don't constantly have to look for it. So I am going to place my grommet in it. Then use my Crop-A-Dile. Just like a, see this over here? That goes in the eye. And squeeze. Let's have a look on the back side. Not good enough. I might need, there you go. I can feel it punch. Now, this is what I don't like about these grommets, and nobody talks about it. It splits up because there's a lot of extra materials here. And if this was on a card or on a page, you'd have to cover this because you can injure yourself on these little ends here. But mine is going to be covered, so that doesn't really matter. But that's the thing that I don't like about these. And I'm not sure if they all do that. Same again. I hope it stays in there. Doing all the work for it to make it pretty, and maybe I'm pushing too hard. No. Needs another push. Oh well. It'll stay. It'll do what it has to do. Okay, so that was interesting. Put this aside. Now we're going to thread our elastic through the holes. So I will come up from the back, go to the other side, come up through the one next to it, and go back to the other side. Okay, so now if I'd wanted more elastics, you know what, I am going to do it. I'm going to go through it again, through the same holes, in the same order. Now everything is a little tight, but make it relax a little bit. And now I'm going to tie off here so that we don't see the tails of this. Do the proper knot so that it's not gonna slip. There. Nice. Clip them off. And I'm gonna leave a little bit of a tail so that I can push this in here so that it stays in here. Now what this does is, grabbing my notebook, insert, sorry, I keep forgetting, and slip this under here like so, and the other one like so. Yeah? Or should I? No, this is fine. Now the holes for this you want slightly, I don't know if you can see this, above the height of your journal. And I see here that it's a little on the low side. It might damage my spine here and here because it's gonna pull on it a little, but it's fine. Okay, so I have to figure out how to keep this. Maybe I'll stitch over here to have them all stay the same length. So now I'm going to make a pocket here. So I will find something and I will sew it in like this. And I might have a pocket over here. Okay, and I will also sew that in. Then I might fancy having a pen pocket here, and I will get to that too. I will come back when I've got it all ready to go.